A frantic firefighting effort on one of the darkest days Kangaroo Island has ever experienced.
But as a result of the fire, we do have 2 fatalities.
Fire crews were constantly having to fall back and protect themselves.
This is the most devastating, shattering day in my lifetime, in my whole life on Kangaroo Island.
The number of homes and properties that have been destroyed is still being assessed, with conditions still far too dangerous for assessment teams to enter.
Not sure what's going to happen there.
At the moment it's interesting. Our life basically stopped as such when the fire went through. And then it was a question of looking at it and going, okay, well, what do we do next? When I came out of the bunker, the fire was basically coming out of the back of the house. And the fire was coming through here, so this would have been basically the maintenance office.
I was in a plane at about 3,000 feet above the lodge doing a circuit, and I can only liken it to a volcanic eruption. And we're talking, vaporisation, really. I mean, the temperatures we've learned in hindsight must have been above 1,000 degrees Celsius. I think the first supplier that called us was to remind us that the coffee machine was on loan and we'd have to pay for it.
A lot of people would say, why are you going to go ahead and build a lodge right in the middle of a dense bushland area? It burnt down once, it'll burn down again. We're not going to give up just like that. We're going to look at everything we could have potentially done differently. We're going to take all the advice we can, and we're going to rise from the ashes, because we owe this to the island.
In relation to the driveway, just widening the clearance along it.
Yep.
That was burnt out. We can see a lot of revegetation occurring. Even in environments like this, you can manage the environment without having too much impact on the biodiversity.
Whether it be the beekeepers, the farmers, vineyards that have lost all of their vines, all of those people are fighting to get their places back up and running.
Reopening the lodge in 2 years, 2.5 years will be the biggest success, and ultimately I think it needs to be a positive story of resilience, and that Kangaroo Island, what we term as Australia's Galapagos, will come back from this, and it'll come back stronger and better.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
Here we go. Cheers.
It's frosted. I'm the practical one. Can't you laugh, can't you? I'm absolutely focused on every little detail. Hayley doesn't always see me as being that positive. She's actually the incredibly positive one.
Oh, look. A piece of artwork hanging from the ceiling, and there's like a few little elements that are left. I love people and collaborations. I probably didn't even realise that I loved the design and development side so much. I don't have any training in that.
I think we're both dreamers. We both love creation and creating.
Where James and Hayley are incredibly attuned is choosing the people that they partner with.
Max Pritchard is just such a wonderful architect. I'm excited about getting to work with him again.
Now we understand the site a lot better than we did originally, wandering through when it was all just scrubs. Then the hard work for us is to redocument it. It's got to comply with current standards and energy rating. There's advances and all of these sort of things that we'll be taking into account.
The most exciting thing for the three of us is we all stood here, over 15 years ago, and now we've got this blank canvas again.
So I think the opportunity, as you've said, is to have that view from every suite. I just think is such an incredible opportunity. When we first did it, we never knew what was around the corner. We never knew how long that road was going to be. This time around, we've got the advantage of hindsight, but that's also scary because we know everything that's involved every step of the way.
So we had the engineer undertake some inspections on Friday, and to my surprise, some of the slab is all structurally sound, because it is quite rare for the magnitude of heat that went through there, for all that to remain. It's a great result, certainly is.
We can see what's happened all over Australia with fires, and our concern is how can we insure against those catastrophic events, because insurance, is required. So that's our biggest worry moving forward, but we've put it to the side just for the moment, because first and foremost we need to demolish what's gone, we need to clear up the site, and we need to make the plans for the future.
Sunshine is a 1.5 life size of a male Kangaroo Island kangaroo. It's made out of old farm machinery. To see that Sunshine was still standing inside that great room just gave one little glimmer of hope.
Sunshine without the eyes. Will have beautiful glass eyes again. But with the eyes, you can see I've just used curved bits of steel that I've cut with an angle grinder. And then, believe it or not, I used dark brown no more gaps for the makeup. The stuff lasts forever, except it didn't last too well in the fire. I think I lost a dozen pieces in all up. So to have one come back is just it's fantastic.
So now I'm at it again, and it's been a major project.
The glass left the USA last night. Once I get it here, it'll take me only 1 day to make the eyes.
Only a day?
Only a day to make the eyes. So.
For me, I have a real passion for focusing on the local and South Australian artisans. There's all these amazing people that we got to work with 12 years ago, so we get to do it again.
I know you're worried about finding that perfect colour.
You can build something like this, and yes, it's from a design perspective amazing, from an architectural perspective it's amazing, but there's no heart and soul in concrete and glass.
They started going green and regrowing almost a week after the fire.
Yeah.
So it gave you sort of hope almost immediately, because everything in here was black.
So we lost 7 rows.
Yeah.
Sol was one of our largest island accounts, if not our largest island account. And in the fire, we lost 5 wholesale accounts in one night.
Oh, wow.
So it was totally burned.
Yeah.
And they regrew some shoots. You can see what all these sticks are. This is what was, the growth was up to here. And
yeah.
In the end, we have made a decision to carry on. So that's a solidified decision based on the fact that the vineyard actually has had some significant recovery all on its own. Bit of a chaos, but it's been exciting, yeah.
Whether it's the gin, the wine, the artists, the craftspeople, the experts in wildlife, the gardeners, whoever it was, there were another 178 businesses that were part of that tapestry of what is a Southern Motion Lodge experience.
It's the people, it's the team, it's the way that we work together. That's what really makes it something very, very special.
John Kersley, we used to get our partridges and pheasants from him 2 or 3 times a year.
This is a ring-neck pheasant. They are a very pretty bird.
And then unfortunately with the coronavirus, you never look too far into the future. You can't plan, it's very unpredictable life at the moment.
We might have been able to sell to other restaurants, but because of the virus and them not opening the restaurants, we haven't been able to sell.
The lodge helps a lot of people out with work and in general, and so it has made a big difference actually.
He did wonderful things for us, and we definitely want to try to repay him if he's able to keep going for the next 2 years until the rebuild happens. The Pandana High School, they had the barramundi farm there, and we'd get our baby barramundi from them. Be good to get in touch with all the suppliers again and saying, hey, we want you back on board. We want to do business again. We try to keep everything as local as possible, and since the bushfires we've got a lot of new suppliers that have popped up that I'm really excited to get on board.
Looking at the Brussels sprouts and the beets, so the co-planting with these has just been super successful. We've got all of our broccolini, and our soil underneath has just been really, really good.
Awesome.
We certainly knew of Southern Ocean Lodge pre the fires. Their whole ethos about using local produce and local products is amazing.
It's incredible what you guys have done in essentially your backyard.
Yes.
You know, your product is speaking for itself.
We are a micro grower, so for us it's about partnering up with people on the island. We're a remote location, so essentially we do have issues with getting supplies to the island. So to be able to have that community feeling and that relationship with Tom, it really means a lot to us.
The day after the bushfire, James said to me, you know, what design changes do you want for the kitchen? So that's his commitment and Hayley's commitment to the island and bringing the tourism back. Bigger and better even.
It's almost 2 years since the fires. Hopefully it's less than 2 years before the new Southern Ocean Lodge will be open for guests.
We're doing lots of things that are not typically in the day-to-day life of a lodge manager perhaps, but we are then part of it. We're putting our effort into what's happening here as well. So if we could do something, then that's what we want to be here for.
So we've been digging holes in the ground and chopping down trees and things like that instead.
I've got to replace all the ones that we potted up today, which was, about 850. Which I hope they do well.
When we started cutting things down, we knew we would have to replant, but we knew also that we couldn't replant with mallee because the mallee and the melaleuca is just going to burn again and it'll burn too hot. So we got a consultant in, we've planted out a lot of pigface, a lot of succulents in the 20-metre fire protection zone, and we'll plant the native juniper in there because that's a bit more fireproof. There's still a lot of people who, haven't rebuilt yet. But people are getting on with it, including us.
It's hard for all of us when you see something that seems to go really, really slowly and decisions like, the insurance, for example, or approvals, and everything seems to take longer than you think. And now I think we all sort of feel it's at that pointy end in terms of we're hoping that everything's going to align.
If we do get this insurance, what's our timeline?
We're looking to commence on site in February.
That means a huge amount of work on detailed design work, detailed documentation for the builder to build from.
And we love detail too.
Yeah. James can't look at a big plan without worrying about the door handle.
I think it was actually really lovely today going through some of the detail that we've used in some of our other properties that we've done with Max and bringing that back into the new part of Southern Ocean Lodge. So it's also a real meeting of the minds and a coming together of our whole journey within tourism and being developers in Australia and what we've already created.
We've got contractors and suppliers who supplied in Sol 1, Southern Ocean Lodge 1, that are eager that you're negotiating with already, aren't we?
But that'd be amazing though if we had some tradies or builders that were actually built the first lodge and came back for the second.
Well, that's right, and we're actually very well connected to the builder who originally built it and the opening general manager.
It's hard to believe we've finally got to this moment. I'm so excited. We've actually got to the point where we're going to be rebuilding the lodge.
We're about 4 or 5 months into the build. We've got some guest suites behind me starting to go up. The main lodge has had all of the slab refurbished after the fires.
It's a bit strange coming back. I don't think many people would get an opportunity to rebuild something. So Matt, Daniel and I started the business to take on this job basically, and we both worked for Baillie Lodges previously.
The first time I was the first lodge manager of Southern Ocean Lodge, so very different role this time around. There's more cranes and concrete these days rather than, cold towels and champagne.
It's certainly a challenging build, and the weather hasn't been kind, as it hasn't been kind anywhere in Australia at the moment. There's a lot more curbs and split levels, and every detail runs into another detail, and we've got to get it right. It's a special level of architecture, and we've got to meet the challenge.
The first time the lodge floated over the sand dunes on some screw piles. This time for a bushfire rating, we're putting in strip footings and overlapping our sheets over those to try and make the building more fire resistant. There'll be external cameras mounted at high points. There'll be an activation of a fire pump, so evacuate first, get yourself safe, monitor the cameras, and when the fire's getting close, push a button and the fire sprinklers go off.
This is a very unique product, very unique to Kangaroo Island, this particular stone. We actually source it, it's being sourced from about 1 kilometre from where we're standing right now.
This wall is the anchor, and so it's lovely to have one part original that'll start it off.
What's incredible is to see so many things that are the same. I mean, the same stonemasons are there, having just quarried that limestone on the Southern Ocean Lodge site, and seeing that wall rising from, well, what is effectively the ashes.
Every stonemason has their own style, and it develops over time. It's like a big jigsaw puzzle, but you're trying to keep all the pieces balancing each other all the way. We've only just started and we've got a long way to go, but we're going along all right at the moment.
Today was really exciting because we had the artists from the APY Collective come over and visit the site, and we had the opportunity for them to spend time on the land here and see how it made them feel and potentially the stories that they want to tell.
It's nice to just be invited and to bring our jokorobas, our songlines and our culture here.
I want to take you right up to the edge of the cliff, just so you get the feeling of the ocean and just the power of it.
Feeling off of nature here, the sounds of these birds and the ocean. It's going to be very interesting with what we create.
I really like just to be here and see really tiny little changes. The creatures that have their own lives here, the plants, the little shells, because I worry quite a bit that we are very dominant creatures. And so here, where it's so powerful, I feel in my right place. I put a perspective on it. It's been a real joy to meet Hayley. I'm going to do artwork for over 20 rooms. Quite quickly, we worked out that we would make it journal-like. And it's possibly because I do talk a lot. And that is accompanying the very beautiful work of Janine McIntosh. And she's She's further ahead than me. She's done lots of work already.
Before the demolition started to fully progress, we had a number of the local artisans on the island come to sites and collect found objects and things that had survived the fire, but very much the fabric of Southern Ocean Lodge.
Yeah, the sense of place is the main thing, I think, because they're all things that obviously something's happened to them. They've got a history. I call them little memories, I guess. Also, I'm making replacements of eucalyptus leaf mandalas throughout the lodge, so I'm making 36 of them. I really feel like I'm collaborating with the bush, I guess. Whether it's prints made by Janet of the ecology or whether it's me using the ecology to make the pictures. The ecology is why people come to the island.
When I was first asked to visit the site, it was windy. And I looked at the great big ocean and I looked at the vastness of the landscape. And I immediately felt that what I needed to do was something cocooning. And I came up with this idea, because I've always envied dogs in their little dog baskets. They always look so comfortable and relaxed. So I came up with this idea of a curved lounge with woven slats. I found the original model as well, by the way. And it would be the central focus of that room as you enter. So really, there was really no need to change it because it worked before. So we're reproducing what was there before. This is the big bar. The works that I'm making are designed to be beautiful and to be functional as well. But also in particular, the works don't overtake the view. And really, it's a celebration of that ocean. So they occupy the spaces quietly, but function in such a way that it is so seamless that you don't even realize that you're so comfortable.
Well, it's full steam ahead, which it really has been from the start, and it's amazing how quickly they've been able to build it with COVID. The shortage of materials, you've got firms going broke, but you know the guys have just done a fantastic job to keep it moving.
This is such a huge space, and we've got this coffee table with the firebox in it.
The length is totally fine. I think we know.
James and Hayley's first real visit to review, so quite critical that they're comfortable with the look and feel.
Well, I'm so excited because the last time I was here, there was no walls in the Ocean Pavilion. There was
Or the main lodge.
Or the main lodge.
First impressions are amazing, but now I'm immersed in detail. It's one of those times that you can go into a property and you can see things like, oh, should there be a PowerPoint there? Why is it not there? So following that journey through now and thinking, oh, is that going to be perfect for there? It's a really exciting time. Okay, Matt, we're deleting, we can tile over it. Do I need to write that down?
Done. I remember, back when we were about to open the lodge, everyone warned me of James Baillie coming in. He's very detailed, but he's not unreasonable in what he asks, and that's why we try so hard to give him what he wants.
All right, fantastic. Let's do it.
Thank you, that's perfect. That's good, isn't it? My big project has been doing all of the soft furnishing selections. We've been working on the furniture together. So that's the one that goes under the fireplace and is sort of at the back. I look like a travelling salesperson because I have a bag full of fabric swatches. We've got about 60 different fabrics so far. So now's that beautiful time of being able just to confirm that, oh yes, I think that's going to work really well. Is it black like the fireplace or is it
Well, no,
matte
the
like
canopy
the
is the bit that goes into the ceiling.
Yes, I realise that, but you can...
Yeah. It was a total whirlwind the first time around.
But the intent is to have this, just wait a sec, the intent is to have this height.
Okay, so I can't see it. We didn't really have that many arguments, which is surprising.
I think you just made it worse.
No, I know what I'm doing. A lot of
To get on with it.
just we didn't have time for arguments really.
Is that like a clean? That's
I'm going to rinse it out and I'm going to wipe it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sitting next to Steve. I'll take care of that.
Copy that, thank you.
We've only just got water.
Or actually, no, put it here.
Just have to put it together.
I've just got back. I must admit I thought we were further advanced.
You see that there? It says it may not work out how you think it will or how you hope it does. But believe me, it will work out. Believe.
I feel a bit anxious and a bit concerned that we're not going to quite make it. Got the artwork, but we don't have any carpet, no joinery, no bed. I was sort of hoping we wouldn't probably have this second time round. We thought we were so considered, we've got the best world laid plans, but that's just not the reality when it comes to construction. Amazing, look at that. Look at these beautiful new canisters.
Oh, right.
And so there are all these stories about his grandfather.
I think it's amazing the way they're dealing with the pressure now. I mean, when you think we're only less than a month away of opening and there's so much to go through, so much to sort out, but they're relatively calmly working through it.
You've got to keep the positive outlook because otherwise it probably would get to you. And just keep the team moving and moving in the right direction.
So Kai Lu is a master furniture maker. He designed this incredible sort of setting that you can all see with the curved couches and a whole range of other items. And that's our big delivery today. It's a crazy time. There's people everywhere. You name it, it's happening. And we're still waiting on heaps of things. Today we've got gym equipment coming in, we've got spa equipment coming in.
So it's all hands on deck. Everyone's just got to almost like you stick to your lane and we just got to get this thing open.
The thing is, all of the red wine came in at the same time.
I feel like the island's back. And very exciting to see something sort of bloom again, so I'm very excited, yeah.
John and Alison have this amazing ability to get good staff, really good people. That's what is going to get us to opening day on the 5th of December.
Well, we just did a bit of a look through the rooms with our housekeeping team. So it's a bit of a run to the finish line, but all hotel openings are.
The final fish going into place.
To see James and Hayley back here unpacking furniture, hanging artwork, it's fantastic. And you know, whenever they're here, it lifts the spirits of everyone as well.
That's pretty good, doesn't it? I can tell you now, Hayley will be not happy with the fact that I did this before she did. She will not be happy.
I think for them it's hugely exciting and probably quite emotional to see it all come back.
So James, pretty important day today.
Oh, pretty important day. We're welcoming Sunshine, the big Roo back.
So exciting. It's so symbolic to have Sunshine back again. He had to go through a blazing fire to then take on the next part of his life.
Sunshine has risen. It's one of the top experiences in my art career, truly. And I couldn't be any happier about the end result.
The next step, we just take the whole guy in, set him down, put his head on. And we're just getting lots of hands. Yeah. Good.
Special day. Kangaroo's back. Fantastic. Back to the old ways. Love this place.
We've evolved and we've morphed into this new property here, and Sunshine is a real symbol of that. Wow. And something that we all look to.
I love that you turned out. How fantastic.
We were all here once the fire went through, and we're all back here again with the new lodge around us.
Sunshine!
All right, eyes are back.
They will be just so happy when those first guests really do walk in.
The first thing I said to James Baillie the day after the fire was, we've got to rebuild it. And it's back.
We've got a magnificent building, but you can't have a product like Southern Ocean Lodge without people. And that's what makes this place so special.
We've been here for 12 years now. As far as Alison and my job is concerned, the mission's accomplished. We've got it up and running. Everything has a story behind it. And of course now we've got a bigger story to tell. But it's for someone else to tell now. It's time to move on.
The culmination now is to put everyone together and finally have that nice celebration to actually go, right, we made it, we got to the end.
Oh wow,
we've made it.
It's back. It's like deja vu. And how good's that new colour? That's awesome.
I haven't even seen that.
Yeah.
The remarkable rock plates are back.
Yeah,
And
look
look at it, look how good it looks with the glasses. Oh my God, there's some winds.
I hope they notice the small details, the things that we've striven to have noticeable. The fact that everything is very beautifully placed, that we have tried to make sure everything is covered in every way, shape and form, and that the guests don't have to think about anything.
All right.
Thank you.
We are going to start tonight's dinner off with our Parandana Barramundi, produced by the high school here. We have actually an exclusive contract with them, just to showcase what the island does best, seafood.
Beautiful.
Please enjoy. Thanks.
Thank you.
You have to have a sense of achievement when you look at what you've done, what you've brought back. When you check in a guest and they go, oh my God, is this amazing? Then yes, there is a sense of pride there.
Al and I was getting a little bit emotional before because, like, look at this night, look at that view, and it's very surreal.
I actually can't see the view. I must be seeing the wrong way. I've got the cheap seat. And the fireplace I just lit. Yeah.
No, but seriously, I mean, and I think even more so for John and Al, they were here when the whole thing came down around them, and that almost didn't happen.
I totally agree. There's moments that I'm holding a vacuum and I think, oh my God.
And it's quite, I can't think of the right word because you walk in now and it's so similar.
But I think Max, where we're sitting, is still like exactly
Pretty
the
much,
same.
pretty much.
Yeah.
But then you look down at the suites and it's very different. Same but different.
I love the fact that the angle's changed.
Yeah, I like the fact that they seem more cabin-like.
I agree, Max. That's what I feel like. I'm on a ship. I go in there. It's got that sort of an intimacy they didn't feel they had before, and that when you sit on the sunken lounge and you look at that view.
Yeah, the views are definitely spectacular.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's just rebuilding Southern Ocean Lodge as it initially was, but it's been a much more complex build, and Max has done his best to, really make our job hard.
Yeah.
With all the curves,
I knew you were up to the challenge. You had a great time picking the artwork last time, but you've really gone a lot further, would you say?
I think Max was also finding our favourites. Great example is Janine McIntosh. In the original lodge, she did the 5 works that were in the restaurant here right behind us. And this time she's been working solidly for 2 years to create over 45 works.
As well as using the
Found
from
objects
the fire. Yeah.
I think you don't want to be all about, the devastation of the fire, but it's nice to have some nods to that. But it was you that said to me, oh, what about Janet's print work?
Oh, they're so beautiful.
They're amazing. Aren't they just stunning? And then when there was this connection that her son was Llewellyn, that's where it started.
Yep. We've got the most amazing artworks of Llewellyn Ash. We've got the schooling fish in the cellar and the pendants in all the suites and the incredible works also up in the ocean pavilion. They were just such a joy to work with as well. Walking in and seeing the staff in those amazing uniforms, all the tableware, everything that works perfectly, make it special at the end of the day. And we've talked so many times about what makes these places special, and it's the people. That's totally what makes it for me. So I think it's time to make a toast to the new Southern Ocean Lodge. It's looking amazing. Cheers, Al. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers, Max. Thanks for the curves. John, thanks for the wine. Hey, thanks for keeping me honest. And boys, thanks for building it. Cheers. Cheers. All right.